Good night, everybody. Hello and welcome to Brick Cave Media Podcast. My name is Bill Campana, author of 4 different Brick Cave books and the upcoming Poems in the Key of A Negative. Joining me in the studio tonight is my co-host, fellow poet, author, Patrick Hare. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Bill. Patrick Hare here, poet and author of Corporate Boilerplate Vinegar from Brick Cave Books. The Brick Cave podcast tonight is brought to you by the BC Book Club, Brick Cave Media's community portal for readers who love Brick Cave books and authors. You can join today and be part of the Brick Cave story at bcbookclub.com. And by the way, in case you think you're hearing an echo, we kind of started off the same way last month, but we can write things down in advance, but when it comes to off-the-cuff stuff, we are just terrible.
That's right.
You want to see me freeze like a deer in the spotlight? Just put me up without a page in my hand.
We're live tonight using Podbean.
Actually, we're not live.
We're not live tonight.
We're all dead.
Well, we're live in the
We'll
studio.
be live again next month for the Christmas special.
I've been accused of not
Christmas
being
special.
alive before.
With Russ Kazmierzak, by the way.
Russ is
Oh,
gonna be
wow.
here? Wow.
Okay, is he going to like live draw us or something?
He's going to sketch himself while he's here. So anyway, we're using Podbean. So visit your favorite app store and you can find Podbean app. And then we're listed as Bill and Patrick live, sometimes live. Tonight, not so live. Bill and Patrick Dead, the Brick Cave podcast. Or you can find the link in the Brick Cave calendar at brickcavemedia.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
If you've read a Brick Cave book, we'd love to hear what you think. If you've read one of my books, please give me a favorable review. My ego is fragile.
The Canadians are hot on you right now.
They are. Wow, look at that. The Canucks. Alex Trebek was Canadian.
He was.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
And yes, he's gone in. There used to be that MTV show, Remote Control, and they had a category called Dead or Canadian. So,
Wow.
so now he's gone into both.
So he's up there in the big game show in the sky with Art Fleming. They're hanging out
Yeah.
together.
You know, I saw him in person once.
Art Fleming?
No, not Art Fleming, Alex
Oh.
Trebek. I was one of my sad hobbies is trying out for the game show, Jeopardy. And so every time I actually pass the test, I get to audition. And one of the times where they had the Jeopardy contest at the Fort McDowell Casino, I passed the 10-question test, and then you come back the next day for the audition. And so after I passed the test, Alex Trebek made an appearance, and he was actually shaking hands with people like in a line, essentially. And before he can shake hands with me, some jerk pops in front of me, scares me, scares Alex. That's as far as I got, man.
Wow. My God. And that jerk was Pat Sajak? That
No.
son of a...
It was just
that
because you like Alex Trebek was like he was scared. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy had a bad heart already, and you're trying to. And
Jen Goldberg. You know Jen.
yes. As a matter of fact, she auditioned at that same one,
Wow.
and so I'd seen her further ahead in line.
Yeah. She was posting pictures of her with Alex together. And then a friend of mine, his daughter's, it would be his son-in-law, was a contestant on Jeopardy. So
Yes, I'm hoping they bring it back because I really would like to just play the damn game. And I don't need to get rich. I wouldn't mind some money, but I just want to get up there and play Jeopardy because,
I just want to hear the theme song, do 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 do.
There's gotta be somebody
Yeah.
new, though. It's gotta be like an unknown.
yes,
Well, everybody's making noise about LeVar Burton hosting it, and the guy that won all the money. What the hell was his name?
and Ken Jennings.
Yeah, they're talking about.
Becoming the host?
Yeah,
Well,
Was he pretty, I never actually saw him play. Was he pretty personal?
I don't know.
he's good. I mean, there's nobody was quite like Alex Trebek because he was that old style game show host, and Walter Cronkite rolled into one.
They should get
So-
Louis Black to host it. Well, that's not the answer.
Obviously, you haven't read many books.
they
be
need
good.
they need a game show host that's just so agitated that people are just afraid to say anything. You got like 30 minutes
Yeah.
of
Two people have an answer.
people with their hands on their thumbs on the button and they're afraid to push it.
You better be damn sure you've got the right answer before you
Don't
push
waste
that
my
button.
time with wrong answers. Form your stupidity and you must present your stupidity in the form of a question.
It's a triple penalty for guessing.
Yes, it's negative double jeopardy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Negative jeopardy.
You guys writing?
Not me.
Not late.
For a change, I'm not writing. I've taken like a month and a half off.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of good with it, but since you told me that I'm selling a book a week, is it?
Yeah. About a book a week.
So it's like, man, I better.
I'm going to write faster when
I
next
bet-
week's
I
book has
bet,
got to be
dude.
sold.
Yeah.
There's going to be people out there. They're going to be, man, I wish Bill would put another book out. And I would say, oh, wow, where were you?
Oh.
Where were you people 4 years ago?
Yes, you could be the Nora Roberts of your genre.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
'cause-
genre is what? Garbage. Bill, what are you writing? Yeah, crap. I'm writing
think
crap.
it's,
I'm
uh,
sorry.
kind of high-level observational sarcasm myself.
Yeah. Well, Patrick, you were once referred to as that hilarious deadpan poet.
I know. That's yes, the Rollo for the. That was it was Hardy. No, it wasn't Hardy Farty Party. It was Mary McCann's thing at the Ikeda Theater. And that was
No, it was Chandler Center for the Arts.
yeah. I thought
Yeah.
it was in the Ikeda Theater in that. I'm gonna have to go and check my poster, which I have in the garage somewhere.
I asked once I found one of those flyers for the Arty Farty parties. Oh man, and it brings back memories. I had no idea what I was doing back then.
Oh my gosh, I had that leisure suit once.
Oh man,
my
yeah.
whole thought was I'm going to look like a complete moron, and therefore, it's like if you already look stupid when you're up on the stage, you don't have to worry about looking stupid.
And that is Slam Strategy
Yes.
101, friends.
Yeah,
the
back-
foregone conclusion.
But maybe that's the problem. I just didn't care back then. When you got nothing to lose, you
Yeah.
can do an awful lot of stuff.
When you got no reputation,
Right.
You got nothing to protect. It's just anything goes. I didn't care. Maybe somebody said one time, you're offensive. I said, I don't think I am. Maybe I was. I don't know.
Well, everybody's offensive to someone,
Yeah.
and some people are offensive to more someone's. But anyway, speaking of new poems, I'm going to read you something that I wrote back in 1992.
Wow.
Even,
This was like before the pandemic?
it's before computers. It's on a typewriter.
Wow.
Man.
If only you could see this, people.
The Amish laptop, as you once referred to it.
Exactly. So this one, which is also, I guess you could say it's the first in a long line of job-related poems, is called You're the Customer. We treat you like a living god. You're never wrong. You're the customer. Would you like fries with that? I smile as if you were a king. You're always right. You're the customer. Anything to drink with that? I feign gladness for your benefit. You keep us in business. You're the customer. Will this be for here or to go? Yell and complain all you like. Let me get the manager. You're the customer. Your order will be ready at the end of the counter. I'll be a slave for the minimum wage, and you are my master. You are the customer. I'll get that table cleaned right away. Your mustache suits you well, madame, and you smell like a rotting whale. You're the customer. I'll clean that up. Kids spill drinks here all the time. You forgot what you ordered and then tell me I'm wrong. All my fault. You're the customer. You gave me a 5, sir. There are no 10s in the register. In my mind, I have killed you 100 times. You're an ass. You're the customer. Are you sure you need that many napkins for one burger? Get the hell out and take your bastard kids with you. I hate you. You were the customer. I don't care if I am fired. I don't have to take this crap. It only got better from there.
Woo! And that was 92?
1992.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, yeah, I've got another one that I
wasn't
wrote.
even
at the same
writing
time.
in 92. I was working overtime,
You
I
were
think.
married.
Yeah, I was. I was married. Yeah. I was mowing the lawn in 92. Mowing the lawn and, yeah, doing all that stuff. Well, this poem is old because it was written 13 months ago. Because the title is 14 months away from Medicare. So if you do the math, I'm
All
now
right.
1
1
month away
from Medicare.
from
Wow.
Medicare.
Then they're going to give it to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I waited all this time.
A week of.
Wait
he'll
a minute.
Sign that, he'll sign that bill.
All these people that are in their 30s are getting my Medicare. So anyway, 14 months away from Medicare. Some of these poems in by the way, tonight I'm reading from poems in the key of A negative. So if you're looking to buy this book, it'll be done in maybe a month and a half, something like that. We'll see.
That's what I'd say.
It's in post production right now. So the poem goes as follows. I had one of those beyond impossible burgers. It was just 3 pickle chips on a bun. You would swear they were actual pickles. Hey, the results are in from my extensive lab tests performed on my tears. After blowing all my dreams on cheap excitement and commercial insanity, my doctor is recommending poetry. Either I'm feeling better already, or the side effects are an improvement over my natural state of being. Here's a poem dedicated to my mother. It was written on the 22nd anniversary of her passing. Some people would call it death. I'm just being polite and say she passed. What did she pass? She passed the test. Anyway, it is called 12/19, 2019. 22 years ago today, my mother passed away. If we were dogs, she would be gone 154 years, and I would not miss her any less. Lady alive, that woman could really cook. And not just dog food. Thank you. And one more in the stream of Medicare. I spent a few minutes at my favorite hangout today, Walgreens. This is called healthcare. I hope like hell the pharmacist and his assistants aren't getting the impression that they are the ones keeping me alive. Flu shot? Don't flatter yourselves. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Flu shot.
That was good.
My doctor said, Bill, do you want a flu shot? No. Well, how about do you want a pneumonia vaccine? I said, no, not really.
Well, they really are trying to keep.
He goes,
from
okay,
dropping
well,
dead,
you seem to be doing okay without it, so.
I get paid a lot more money if you're in the
He
hospital.
says, I don't want to push you. Right, you don't.
Much later on in my life, I worked in an electronics factory. I got to solder on pieces to the circuit boards where they fell off. So, they'd all go through what was called a wave machine, which had just, molten lead on the bottom of it, and it would pass over that.
Oh, yeah. Did it have like a flux?
Yeah.
Bath flux?
Yeah, the flux bath and everything.
Then it got dipped in Freon, maybe? Was it a Freon bath afterwards?
They had switched from Freon to something called Gensolve, but then they stopped using that after
That sounds
a while.
just bad, genocide.
Well, it was.
That sounds like a science fiction movie waiting to happen.
It wasn't as bad as Freon, but it was still bad, or I don't know. Maybe it was still some sort of a pollutant. So then they moved away from that. But the substitute for Gensolve didn't smell too good either.
The substitute for Gensolve is a baseball bat.
Right.
It's physical abuse.
So anyway, this is called.
I used to work at a place that had one of those. They called it the flow solder machine.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
called
it
it the.
had bars, big bars of solder. They look like something you'd see at Fort Knox. Fort Knox for welders or
Hmm.
something.
Yeah, it was called the wave machine where I worked, so probably the same thing. But the world of knowledge. Fresh from the land of slow death arrive pieces of the thinking machines that make obsolete your need to adequately spell, count beyond the number 3, or make any decision beyond which channel to hold your interest for the next 2 minutes. Consign yourselves, you wretched fools, for your slot in this electric hell is open, and you are about to be plugged in.
Dun dun dun.
Prophetic.
Dun dun dun.
The Gensolve Mysteries.
Guy in a lab coat solves mysteries.
One more question
One
for
more
you.
question. One more equation.
Yes.
Whose hand is that in the solder machine?
They show those on, it's like the Sundance Channel or something on Thursday nights. They
Columbo?
have Columbo, yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
so they had one with Johnny Cash, and another one with Leonard Nimoy.
Don't look at me, you one-eyed bastard. Quit asking me these questions. That cigar is going out in your face. Yeah, I did shoot a man in Reno just to watch him die.
And I'll do it again.
Where's June?
It doesn't have to be
June
Reno.
on this show with me. She's my accomplice.
I'm gonna break my guitar over your neck.
You'll read another one, Patrick. Read another
Yes, I may read another one. This was, okay. Sometimes I just don't. It's just like everything else. Why would I write 3 in advance when I don't even know which one I'm going to read? But this one's called Artificial Intelligence. What I need is a little distinction, and perhaps a special tool to prove how much more mellowly wistful and important my thoughts are than yours. Luckily, I have it here in my hand. A beautiful cherrywood pipe with a distinctive, acrid pungence that brings the aura of my classy persona to even the most visually impaired person standing 50 yards away. Without speaking a word, I can make my impression by simply stoking the fires of syrupy tobacco in this artfully cut bowl with a miniature cardboard torch. Pausing a moment for a sidelong gaze into your flickering, jealous eyes that bemoan a caste standing truly far beneath my own. And then when I do talk, which I am guaranteed to do, because your opinion is so abysmally senseless, I'll be pointing my pipe straight at you, as if the fire inside this wonderful kettle could possibly illuminate the primate thoughts inside your head. And when I speak, you'll truly know the error of your ways as you meekly submit and shrink away. Perhaps I'll even play chess, as I cognizantly plot your checkmate between lip pop puffs and subtle glances to the ceiling, confidently kicking out the ashy embers in my bare palm in a one-man applause at the dexterous victory that my pipe has made inevitable. After that, I can dye my beard gray, so I can be distinguished in facial fur, as I make a one-eyed squint and think of taking up sailing or some other form of manly pipe adventure, while I puff fervently in the maple-walled treehouse I'm having built, because it's getting cold out here, and my weak-lunged mom won't let me smoke this thing inside.
I think that's only the third time I've ever heard that. That's
Yeah, I use it as a prop at one of those Mary McCann readings.
yeah. You the first time you did it, it was like, wow, I smoke a pipe. But I'm okay with it because it's pretty much what pipe smokers are. Oh yeah, what the heck is this? It's the annual Clute Invitational, the Bernard Schober Invitational. Bring a shark, get in for free. It's the Maricopa Grand Slam. It's a project of the Maricopa Arts Council, which is like 3 people in an empty tin can.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah. No, they're good people down there in Maricopa, and they're from what I understand, they're starving for poetry there. They're so hungry for it that they fly Clued in 3 times a year to run an
Lisa was
event.
starving for poetry too at one point. Not anymore though.
So yeah, so this is obviously some kind of masquerade ball because it says masks are mandatory, except when on camera. So anyway, distance seating. I'm sitting way over there. I'm not even sitting by myself. It's like, move over, Bill. You're in bad company. Woot. So anyway, it's the poets are chosen, open to poets, chosen by Slam Master the Clute. So anyway, there's 2 preliminary rounds and a big prize round for $150 to the winner, $100 to second place, and $75 to third place.
What, no sandwich?
No sandwich, and if you're in 4th place, you get nothing.
Yes, and it's being broadcast. It's not actually, you can't go there unless you're reading.
That's right.
So
So it'll be on Facebook Live or something. I don't know. He doesn't say where it's going to be.
He said that online. He said it was Facebook
Yeah.
Live.
Okay, Facebook Live. Check it out. It's Saturday evening at 5:30 to 8:30. That's like 3 hours for 12 poets with cuts in each round. Boy,
It's a long show.
the time limits are just
yeah, exactly.
excruciating.
12-minute time limit.
Yeah, you got okay. Don't go over 12 minutes because we'll start deducting points. Entry fee none, but donations would be appreciated. So anyway, I'll be competing in that as well as Patrick Hare, our old friend Tristan Marshall, and
Yeah, we need to get Tristan to be a guest on this show.
and Tristan and a bunch of other people that I don't know. Somebody named oh God, what was his name? Happy Mouse or some kind of
Really?
some guy, not Happy Mouse, but some kind of mouse name.
All right.
Yeah,
Some kind of house name.
mouse, something
Dead
mouse.
Mouse. The Vegas
I didn't
DJ.
see this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There are slammers out there nowadays that I don't know who they are, and they don't know who I am either. That could be a good thing.
Yes, yes. And so when they hear someone
Yes.
like me read a poem, it's like, oh, that used to get points back in the day.
Yeah, what? Who let Grandpa in?
Exactly.
What's Grandpa doing up there? Hey, Grandpa. I'm Grandpa, and I'm coming after your grandmother.
Hold on to your seats.
I'm coming after Grandma. She ain't gonna be the same after I get through with her.
Oh, that just turned us into a creepy podcast.
Yes. Well, a lot of creepy podcasts are out there, but they usually involve celebrating the murder of somebody.
Yeah,
Like it's
right.
a big deal. It's like, oh, let's talk about somebody that got murdered.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't? It's like, well, that's kind of a sad thing.
Patrick, didn't you murder the lead singer from Fish? Didn't I hear that? I read that somewhere today.
Well, I did it in a dream, and assuming that every dream is an alternate universe somewhere. Yeah.
Hey, dreams are a part of life, man. So anyway, I'm going to read this poem here. I might use the title. We're supposed to submit the titles to our 3 poems for this big slam on Saturday night. So this could be like one of the titles. It is called "Man Spreading Like a Used Cello Salesman on a Subway Ride to the Opera," or "What Goes Up Must Come Down." So if you're thinking about going to heaven, that's just a title. Okay, now here's the poem. The open all night sign hangs above my head as if I represent the neon culmination of all the greasy utensils dedicated to feeding the tired souls, or a comic strip character explaining to another comic strip character that I am not sleepy. Thirst was eating at me like a hunger. Sometimes I like to wake up just so I can rub the sleep back into my eyes. And then I realize it's only a dream. And this next piece is called "Word Ostinato in the Key of Slang." Seasoned with spite and pressure cooked to imperfection, I have drained the ink from my red ballpoint pen while sketching my self-portrait from the inside out. I need a pen with white ink to draw my life story, blue ink to write my face, Sure, I could break walls with my pounding head, and all I could think of is, don't you love it when life hurts? When mission statements include exclamatory profanity? When you smash your thumb while nailing down the details of everyday shtick? I need a pen with black ink. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. What else should we talk about?
Oh, it's the holidays are coming up, man.
It is, man. I was looking at turkeys in the store, and it's like, my God, wait a minute, these aren't turkeys. These are my fellow shoppers. What the heck? What the heck? So yeah, I think maybe I'll do a turkey this year, and it's like, no way, man. It's just me. I can't eat 20 pounds of bird. Oh, God, I'll be eating it.
So we pre-ordered one from. We do it from Bobby Q's, so that barbecue restaurant in upstate. Really good, really good.
The one out there on I-17 and
Yeah.
somewhere way out there on the west side. West side.
So
Throw up your hands.
True story. That the guy that owns that is the guy that used to own Bobby McGee's. You remember when Bobby McGee's?
Right, because when we got there, it was a work luncheon,
Yep.
and somebody said, "Man, I've been here before, but it was something else."
Yep. It was Bobby McGee's.
Yeah, I asked my brother about that. He said, "Yeah, Bobby McGee's was it."
Same owner, same Bobby.
Their brisket is pretty damn good.
It is.
Their food was really good. Yeah, the beans are pretty good too. I like a good
It's good food.
like a barbecue beans.
So, do you have
No,
a
I don't.
tradition? Do you have a tradition of doing lasagna for dinner on Christmas?
No, actually, no,
No?
not anymore.
Did you ever?
No. I used to. What did I do? For myself, you mean,
Yeah.
or no?
You and Marietta, or
Well, normally we would just go out and get steaks on Christmas Eve,
I knew you did that because you've
Yeah.
done that for.
and then Christmas Day would just be me
Okay.
and my dad when he was around, and usually he was with his squeeze, his main
remember
his
that.
main squeeze, yeah, and God knows what they were doing. Just, I was a vet.
They're adults.
I was in World War II.
They were adults.
You know the Andrews sisters?
Don't sit under the apple tree.
Oh, that one Andrews sister. Woo! What was her name? Her name was Glover Lee. Her name was Bandy. Her name was Bandy Cooch. I don't know what her name was.
He's clearly feeling better.
Yeah, I was under the weather for a while. My back threw itself out again tying a shoe. It's like, man, mornings are killing me, man. Brushing my teeth, my back goes out. Tying my shoe, my back goes out. It never goes out when I'm doing anything. Just,
Nice. Well, I have 2 poems to read.
I'm gonna get. That means my next stop is dentures and loafers.
Wow. You got it all mapped out.
Yes.
We need to get him a yacht.
A yacht.
A yacht. Where are you going to put that? Okay. Now, this piece actually has never been read outside of a classroom.
Did you
And-
write this when you were a student?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did, because I had this poetry teacher who made us buy her book, and then she was always talking about that we should all be activists and we should be out there protesting, and people in the 60s knew how to protest, and everyone in the 90s was just full of apathy.
Well,
And
they're
so-
learning it now.
Yeah, and so if you're not out there protesting, you're not really living your life.
Wow.
And then she had the usual
Buy my book.
rubber stamp type philosophy of many college professors. And so I wrote this piece sort of as revenge, and of course the whole class loved it.
How does she feel about it?
She seemed to like it too. She didn't identify it as about her. I want to be an academic pundit. so I too may fuse my nutty political leanings into the tangled web of higher education. I will fill those empty classroom minds with the kind of twisted ideologies that only work on a professor's daydreams. Most students can't separate politics from facts, so I'll do the thinking for them. Real world experience is meaningless in the universe's land of fantasy. I can gush a bunch of senseless junk and be subsidized by the state's taxpayers. Of course, my classes will be required. Indoctrination is the key. Who would dare take an elective in this fool's philosophy? With my lectern as a pulpit and the students as my church, I'll fleece the whole flock of their sensible thoughts and teach them the drivel of silly crackpots. My lectures will be legendary. With a madman's yell, I'll rant. Who cares about the subject when there's rhetoric to chant? And soon, you'll see me in a protest march, lending credibility to a bunch of nuts who only shout to hear their voices echo off the solid walls of the real world. I found out later that students were passing that around in other classes.
Nice.
That's how you know you've made an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it was funny because I told someone else about it, and he said that back in his day, there was a guy at Stanford who always wore the Chairman Mao shirt. It's like, well, geez, I don't even get the real comparison then, because that was their professor. It's like he taught straight communism, so we just got the watered down stuff.
God, I didn't even get the real deal.
Right.
What am I, a community college?
Now everything's online.
Right. And recorded. Takes the fun out of it.
All right, Bill, you want to pull a couple in and we'll wrap it up?
Yeah. Seeing how the country is just divided and polarized right now, I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to do political poems. Why would I do that? I'm not going to solve anything.
Have you ever done political? I don't think you've ever done political.
SB 1070 BS.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Ass-Bomb was a political poem, kinda.
Kind of.
It was an answer to all the 9/11 poems.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right.
oh, you want a poem about destruction? Here you go.
All right. I got you.
Here
You
comes
got,
here,
you got cred. All
here
right.
comes the Ass-Bomb.
You got cred.
The walk-in world is exploding.
And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend. Yeah. There's the last two poems I'm going to do is one is called the 2 a.m. Mass, and because I stay up like all night long on the weekends, I take the early shift, and I take a long nap in the evening, and I stay up all night writing and whatever. So and then the second one is called Jesus of America. I like that title. It's like it's not the Jesus from the entire world. It's just Jesus of America. We got our own Jesus here in this country. I gotta tell you about that. It's like, there's black Jesus. People, they say he was actually black. And here in this country, he's orange.
Wasn't he Middle Eastern, though? I mean,
Yeah,
gotta be.
I'm sure he was dark skinned. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, unless she's, you get one of those Catholic prayer books and see the paintings in there.
Well, then he looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He just looks like he's some hippie.
Yeah.
He's some hippy dippy. So anyway, the 2 a.m. Mass. My body is a temple for a religion that is no longer practiced, for a religion that only practices excommunications, for a doctrine that offers mercy knowing it is only sarcasm in disguise, that is one high holiday away from bankruptcy. My thoughts are dogmatic and always segue into murmurs. Jesus of America, messianic drifter walking on watered-down dreams, performing a constitutional right to bear the cross while preaching ballyhoo hallelujah, side street vigilante hokum to wax fruit politicians. Yeah,
Welcome.
ballyhoo. I waited 23 years to sneak ballyhoo into a poem. Been holding on to that word.
Now you've done it.
For, yeah, now it's like
You've done it, Bill.
I have to climb another mountain now.
Throwing down the card.
All right, Patrick, you done? You got anything else?
I do have one.
Punch it.
All right. In the spirit of slam poetry and the many people that you run across in slams, this one is called Touchdown. What the hell are you talking about? I hear words and tone, some energy and a definite rhythm, but what did you say? Are you trying to be clever? Because it's not working. Oh, look, wordplay. You've got images like bloody broken glasses outside the Rosemary's Baby apartment. So what? If people wanted images, they'd go see a slideshow. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but an image is what you get when you leave the lens cap on. You know those albums by Meatloaf where you read the lyrics and each song is a 3-paragraph essay? That's not you. Meatloaf didn't drown us all in 4-syllable words. You have not yet reached the Meatloaf skill level, let alone the Paradise by the Dashboard Light karaoke skill level. You're saying something about fair trade coffee while you're still under the effects of weed someone carried 50 miles across a blazing desert in a backpack. Now he's a slave in an outdoor pallet factory, but at least the contents of the pack arrived intact for you. Did you say something political? You sure did. You repeated something totally unchallenging, like an intellectual version of a McDonald's Happy Meal. You set up your straw men and mixed in a few vague generalities where you compare today's political figure with yesterday's European public speaking champion who only wanted to help working people. That kind of sounds like you. And my God, you're boring. Blank stares aren't appreciation, you know. Why don't you try saying something controversial? You may be trying to shout something provocative to the amen corner, but so what? If nobody disagrees with you, then you're just a poser. Say something that makes people uncomfortable and gets their reptile cerebral neurons firing, and you might have something, but God forbid we'd have to think for a few minutes while we're sipping our overpriced coffee and trying to tune you out.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
Punch it.
I remember those days.
Yeah. I read that, and then Tristan Marshall told me what I already knew, but of course he said, well, Meatloaf didn't write the songs, Jim Steinman wrote the songs. I'm like, yeah, but nobody else knows that except you.
All right, let's wrap this.
So,
Hang on, Bill's got to get to the appropriate point in the script.
So the script
lost the
is
script.
non-existent script here. Thank you once again for listening to this edition of the Brick Cave Podcast, featuring Bill and Patrick. Anytime you'd like to hear from us, join us online at brickcavepodcast.com. Our BC Book Club supporters can enjoy extra episodes and other great advantages. Details at bcbookclub.com. Thank you again, everyone, for listening, and we'll drop in again real soon.
And that's part of our world tonight. Courage.
Good night, Chet.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, David. Good night, Chet.